Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra!
Yes, it's a Friday, and you're probably going, what are they going to cover on this week? And I'll tell you in a minute, but first I've just got to check in on someone. It's the co-host. Rich, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I'm good.
You've had a busy week, haven't you?
Yeah, it has been quite a busy week. Yeah, lots of meetings till late. So getting up at 5 a.m. to go to work and not getting home till gone 8 is not.
It's not ideal,
fun.
is it?
No, not really.
So you guys are probably wondering, where's the Ant-Man and the Wasp for Quantumania review that you promised us? You said you were going to put it somewhere. You said you would probably put it on another slice, you bastards. Where is it? Well, here it is.
It's here. Yeah, it's right here.
It's here because Rich has finally got to see it. It's after our deadline for another slice. But we thought we had this spare week where there was nothing that was out. We thought, let's just put it there because we have feelings. And it's given a lot more time to people to see Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and it gives us the opportunity to really dive into those spoilers and really get at this film. Take that as what you will, if it's good or bad. But Rich, can you please try and explain this film to me and its synopsis?
I know I say this every time, but this is one of the hardest synopses I've had to do, I think, because it's just a bit crazy. Anyway, here we go. Let's give it a try.
He's leaned back a little bit, guys. He's leaned back.
I've actually got some notes. That's why.
Oh.
So here we go. Because it's a complicated synopsis, I've actually got a few notes.
Okay.
So after the end game and the snap and all that stuff, Scott Lang is now a kind of minor celebrity in San Francisco. People know he's an Avenger, but they forget which one he is. But he's getting free coffees and all that kind of stuff, and his life's quite happy.
He wrote a book.
He's written a book, which seems to have gone down reasonably well. Hope, his partner, is still running a company, which is called Pim Van Dyne. And that's the sciencey company that we're not too sure what it does. And Cassie is obviously 5 years older and now a teenager because of the old snap thing that happened, and is getting into trouble. Scott has to go and pick her up from jail, which seems to set up a kind of daddy-daughter conflict that they need to work out, but somehow doesn't really happen.
Because she's in trouble, but she's in bad trouble. Well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but again, we'll get onto this when we talk about the actual when we review the movie. But yeah, so Cassie has obviously inherited. Well, no, because she's not. No, actually, she hasn't inherited anything. I don't know where she's got so clever, essentially, because it plays it like Hank Pym is her granddad, but he's not. Well, he is. He's like a step granddad, I suppose. But anyway, she invents a device that sends a message into the quantum realm, sends a signal into the quantum realm, and it goes wrong for some reason that's not really explained how this happens. But then sucks Hank and what's Michelle Pfeiffer's character's name? I can't remember.
You think I know because for the whole film they mention her name.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Christine? Is it Christine?
No, I'll let 1 minute. It is Janet Van
Dyne. So yeah, sucks Janet, Hank.
You know Janet?
Hope.
Take a shot, everyone.
Hope, Scott, and Cassie all into the quantum realm, where we discover that Kang has been, or a version of Kang has been exiled to the quantum realm. We also discover there's loads of people down there and creatures and stuff and things, and how the hell did they get there? And we don't really know, but they're all down there, and there are wars going on, and Kang is being evil and conquering, and there's tribes trying to fight him, and blah de blah. Things happen. That's my synopsis, pretty much.
I mean, it started off strong and it limped off to...
It's because it gets really complicated then, and I don't really know what to say and what not to.
I have many questions. First one, Rich, can you explain what the quantum realm is to me yet?
No.
Because you kept saying down there.
Yeah,
I think it's out there.
Oh yeah,
out there.
well, it's small. It's like once you've gone beyond subatomic, right? So you've gone so small that you're like that. Like an atom would be like a planet. Is like that's where they've. I think. I don't really know. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. This whole quantum realm just makes no fucking sense.
It baffles me. Absolutely baffles me, the quantum realm. How they try and explain it. It's like a universe outside our universe or something like that. I'm like, well, that's not good enough for me.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
At this point, I don't understand where we are.
Yeah.
Because they've shrank, like you said, to an atom size. So
smaller than that, I think. It's subatomic.
Oh, my head hurts. I don't understand science, especially Marvel science.
I don't think there's much science in this. I wouldn't worry too much.
If you're listening and you understand what the quantum realm is and what Quantumania is in particular, can you please send an email of a really clear definition, a really like dumb guide to the quantum realm kind of thing that me and Rich will understand, because I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get
any
it.
Physicists out there, explain the quantum realm to us, please.
So is it space? So it's not space.
Not space. Right? No, it's not space. But yeah.
But it is space.
But just imagine, like, our universe was an atom, essentially, imagine our universe was one atom, then the quantum realm is that atom, essentially, as far as I know, as far as I can tell. You know in Men in Black, where the galaxy's so little that it's in the cat's thing.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be stood on at some point and squashed if it was?
Well, no, because it's so small. How could you squash it? You can't squash an atom, can you?
Oh, that is true.
It's so little. It's like when I was at school, we used to we had a teacher who was really easily distracted, and so every lesson we used to ask him what colour atoms were.
It's a good question.
He'd spent the whole lesson explaining what colour atoms were, and we wouldn't do any work.
So Kang's stuck there.
Yeah.
And it's outside of timelines, so that he's
for some reason time doesn't seem to work there either, and he keeps going on about time. Again, I don't really understand.
Did you find him menacing? Because they are building this guy up. Is he going to be the one that's the Kang dynasty, or is that the spoiler at the mid credits thing that?
Well, that's the thing.
Some
I
other
think
bad ones.
I think there are multiple Kangs, aren't there? That's the thing.
Multiple.
Yeah,
Kangs,
many thousands of Kangs, and so I think that's the Kang dynasty. Is the whole group of them essentially? And
somehow they're at the end of this film. They're all angry at Earthlings.
I don't know.
Because they killed one of their own, kind of thing, but in a place that they exiled him to.
Did they exile him? Is that what that's what I wasn't sure about?
Yeah, they exiled him. They kept him stuck there, and then he was trying to get out to Earth, and obviously Scott Lang and the Wasp stopped that, so they should be happy, shouldn't they? But no, in the mid-credit thing, they were like, "Oh, fuck these guys! We're gonna go." Up there.
I've got to be honest, I didn't stay for the end credits because I needed a wee. I saw the mid-credit bit and then I was like, nah, I'm not waiting for the end.
Well, the end one is going to be it's a scene from Loki season 2.
Right, okay.
When there's another version of Kang in Victorian time doing a play or something.
Right.
And Loki and Morbius.
Oh, right, okay.
Not that Morbius, the Owen Wilson Morbius.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Right.
Out there, and they're like, and he's like, that's him.
Right.
And then I was like, are you sure? Kind of thing. He's like, yes.
Didn't miss
and
much
then. It
then.
Ends. Yeah, it wasn't. It was just teasing Loki season 2, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Weirdly, after watching this film.
So yeah, did I find Kang menacing? Yes, in a very gentle, soft kind of way.
Yeah.
Like not in a crazy kind of violent kind of way necessarily, but in a kind of a softly menacing.
He talked a good game, and when it came down to it, it didn't really back it up. Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, should we get started on talking about this movie?
Do you want to start the good or the bad?
Let's start with the good stuff.
Okay, you better go first then.
Okay, I thought it was genuinely better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Because I just thought it was going to be so bad.
This is where we go wrong with films. You go in negatively, and I go in positively.
Well, I don't always.
I come out negatively, and you come out positively.
I don't always go in negatively, but I think that we watched the trailer, didn't we? And we had
a good guess.
We
were
wrong on the trailer. Yeah, I wasn't feeling very hopeful from the trailer. I was quite looking forward to MODOK, which is what I was probably disappointed about.
Fucking hell.
But yeah.
Fucking hell.
slash Games Master. Yeah, I wasn't. So I wasn't feeling very positive about it. And actually, the first kind of 20 minutes or so, I thought, oh, okay, we're going somewhere. We're getting, it's a nice kind of.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Paul Rudd's incredibly charming.
Man, without this film, Paul Rudd, they would be in so much trouble.
Well,
I think.
Yes and no, but I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Paul Rudd's been incredibly charming. I'm thinking it's setting up some daddy-daughter conflict, and yet all of that is kind of resolved in the first 20 minutes. Yeah. So I was like, where's the rest of this movie going? We got like another hour and a half. What's happening here? Yeah, and then it kind of all goes to pieces for me when they actually get to the quantum realm, I guess. Like, there's just so much that doesn't make sense. Although, maybe not as they get to the quantum realm, because I quite like the bit where they meet the other creatures and tribe and stuff that live in the quantum realm, and there's Chidi from A Good Place turns up as a telepath, and
that's funny for a minute.
Yeah, some nice jokes in there of like his name is Scott Lang and he has 7 holes. That's kind of, I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah. I wanted to see more of him.
Yeah, I thought that was quite good. But yeah, that's it. Then it just kind of tailed off into kind of quite dull, I don't know, like wandering about. Like, it just didn't really kind of much.
It never took off, did it?
No, and then.
And I thought this film was going to be lots of like danger and really high stakes. I thought there was going to be lots of high stakes in this. I thought, honestly, I didn't think Ant-Man was going to come out of this alive.
Yeah,
and I think that's where the end of this, someone had to die at the end of this to make Kang at least a little bit scary.
Yeah, and
the fact they all got out of it fine and destroyed that version of Kang, wherever he is now, whatever, I don't understand. Then the stakes never took off. It's all a bit. If you're trying to set up the big bad guy from like Thanos, then at least kill Michael Douglas. So come on.
Yeah. It doesn't. He definitely doesn't feel like a Thanos, does he?
Not at the moment.
No.
Not at the moment. I think they failed in trying to set up him as this big bad guy that all the Avengers are going to have to take on at some point. I think that's what the mid credit sting is pointing towards. And there's a cool bit when Kang's like, "Have I killed you?" Like,
have I killed you before? Yeah,
kind of thing. And he mentions some of the other Avengers. Are you the one with a hammer or whatever?
Yeah.
So like he's this guy's met other versions of Avengers, and I was like, oh, that's pretty tantalizing, but
then he never feels very, I don't know,
he feels so desperate.
Yeah,
so desperate, which I suppose you're meant to be, because he's been stuck in the quantum realm for however long. We're not quite sure, because time doesn't really work
powerful,
down there.
but we don't ever see that power, really, do we?
Things come out of his hands, Rich.
Oh yeah, I know.
Lightning bolts.
Like, yes, yeah, but that's not. Thor can shoot lightning bolts. Like, I don't know. He doesn't feel like Thanos. Doesn't feel undefeatable.
He doesn't. Not so much unhinged. Like with Thanos, which is so unhinged with Thanos a little bit, is like you can kind of understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
You're like, his ideas,
but also
his final result was batshit crazy. But you're like, well, he's not wrong.
But also,
you're like, well, you're wrong.
He's so powerful that how could you possibly defeat that? That's Thanos, isn't it? He's so powerful. How can they possibly do it? There's only one possible way out of all those hundreds of thousands of ways that he looked at. There's only one way they could possibly do it. With Kang, it doesn't kind of feel like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll get that later. Because this is very, very much a setup movie. Yeah, it's interesting.
Which I think they failed at a little bit.
So another good thing, I think there are some scenes which are really kind of visually spectacular.
Okay.
So where Ant-Man gets stuck in the probability storm.
That's pretty trippy. I quite enjoy it.
That's quite good. However, a lot of the CGI feels really ropey.
I can't get past the CGI in this film.
No.
It's put such a dampener on it for me. It's all I can think about. It's blurred my vision. And I was hoping, coming to talk to you, that you can clear up the storm and let me see some of the good points. But the CGI is so bad. Like, even just simple stuff. Like, there's a scene at the beginning when Cassie and Scott have just got to the quantum realm, and they're walking through like the yellow brick road kind of scene, and the background looks so CGI paint from Windows. It's embarrassing. There's no depth of field for it. I think I made the same complaint in For Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
there's no, for a world that's meant to go like literally like space and go on forever kind of thing. It all felt so flat.
Agreed.
And then you get the old Murdoch, the Minister of Defence and kayaking, or whatever his name is.
Okay.
I can't get around it. I can't see around it. It's blind red murderous vision of this film, and I really Marvel, you should do fucking better. You should be ashamed of yourselves for putting this out. You really should. It's frankly embarrassing.
Murdoch especially is bad.
What the fuck is that about? That. Now, I'm not a big, I don't know anything about the Marvel universe or the comic books, but I know Murdoch is meant to be something quite frightening.
Yeah.
And he's meant to be the ultimate killing being, and then he turns up looking like Jeffrey Moore from Games Master, and I turned to Tiff, my wife, and I was like, that looks
you mean Patrick
shit.
Moore, right?
Oh, yes.
I know who you mean, yeah.
I was like, that looks really embarrassing. It's awful. And bringing him back from the first one's not a bad idea as Murdoch, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I quite like Murdoch as a character in the comics.
Yeah,
because in the comics he's created by AIM, like Killian, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
That company, and he's a kind of a Captain America baddie, and of all the Avengers baddie really. But he's kind of he's a twisted scientist who goes too far and ends up in it just I don't know, I didn't get any of that. There's too much.
Well, he's a comedy psychic.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. He's a comedy character in this, and he's supposed to be a twisted evil being who wants to just kill, and he isn't really, is he, at all?
He's more interested in having a chat and a catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. He's more interested in trying to make friends with Scott. He's like, I'm sorry I was a bad person. Now I'll be a good person.
We were like brothers.
Yeah.
I think the whole CGI from a world, and this film is literally all CGI as well, especially the second and third parts. It's not good. It's not good, and you can feel like you read reports about it now and how rushed they were, and how they tried to put more people on Wakanda Forever, which does look much better than this.
It does, yeah.
And this is just.
Yeah.
We watched Lost in Space the other day, Rich, for another project, disenfranchised on Another Slice. Joe, check it out. And I would say even Lost in Space, some of it looks better than this shit.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, but I don't think it's just the CGI. I think this movie has more problems than just the CGI. Not enough to make me hate it like Thor: Love and Thunder. But not enough to make me like it either. There's not enough to. So we talked about Paul Rudd and Paul Rudd's kind of charisma and his comedy chops kind of really like hold this movie together in a lot of parts. For me, until it gets to the point where he has to be like angry, like he can't do that kind of.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That angry kind of like vengeful person. He's just doesn't seem to have it, and that's kind of. I think that's really where this movie falls down. Is that actually the final battle is a bit boring?
It's because the other Ant-Man films are quite unique and special, and they're quite fizzy.
Yeah,
they're quite. There's an element of cheese and fun about the Ant-Man. It was always like a little bit of a refresher from the darkness that's going on around.
Yeah, they're like a palate cleanser between.
Yeah, and then in
movies,
this one, it didn't feel like an Ant-Man or an Ant-Man and Wasp film for me. It felt they're trying to. It's not a bad thing trying to up the stakes a bit, but you've kind of got to remember where you've come from.
I think the problem is that Ant-Man is a supporting character, really, rather than a main character. I think Ant-Man is a. He works well as
Wasp with him, though.
Well, she's barely in it, though, is she? Evangeline Lilly is basically not in it. Like two or three scenes, that's about it. And
she rocks up at the end a bit.
Yeah, and again, that sort of sets up that I was hoping for that kind of like parent-daughter dynamic, like some inner conflict there, but that just seems to disappear. Like that motif, it seems to set up at the start of like parent and child conflict just goes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Honestly, I thought at the end when the Wasp and Ant-Man were there, I thought they were stuck in the quantum realm, and I was like, okay, that's good. They're stuck there. That's still a stake there. The other guys got out. They've and then it turns out, and then the portal opens behind them again, and I was like, oh, oh, so they're all alive.
Yeah,
they've all got out of this. Okay.
There's no stakes, are there? That's the thing. It's just it's a very low stakes movie, and yeah, I mean, like even calling it Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's not really Ant-Man and the Wasp, is it? It's more like it's just not Ant-Man and Michelle Pfeiffer.
The Wasp follows Janet. It should be called. Well, when they say the Wasp in this, because isn't Janet Van Dyne the original Wasp?
Yeah.
Am I clinging?
Well, yeah, but then that would mean that Hank Pym's the original Ant-Man. So
that is true.
It should be about them, shouldn't it? Like
the only bit, I liked all the ant bits, by the way, in this film. I thought that was fun, but it should be called Ant-Man and Janet, which hasn't quite got the same.
It hasn't quite got the same. Sounds like a children's book.
Frankly, it might as well just be called Janet for most of it.
True.
Because everyone's just, where's Janet? Janet's here. You've heard of Janet? Janet?
Yeah, true.
And that surprised me how much they put on Michelle Pfeiffer. And by the way, looks great.
Yeah.
Love her. She's great.
Yeah, but again, just a bit kind of, it's a bit mediocre, I think, is the way to sum up this movie. It's just,
I wasn't rushing back to see it again like I have done with some Marvel films.
I mean,
most of the last few phases, actually, the last few Marvel films, I haven't rewatched.
Yeah.
Thor and Love and Thunder we had to because someone picked it as their worst ever sequel. But I haven't rewatched Doctor Strange 2. I haven't rewatched like Eternals, anything like that. I haven't even gone back to Wakanda Forever, and that's dropped.
Yeah.
I'm just, if anything, I want to go back to watch Iron Man again. I want to go back to watch Endgame and Winter Soldier and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
The last few have just, and they're trying to set the future, but it hasn't done as good a job as the originals.
But I bet you it makes money, this movie, because
I think it's the highest grossing Ant-Man film.
When I went to go and see it at the cinema, it was a lot fuller than a lot of other movies I've been to see recently.
Really, yeah. When we went and saw it, it was quite full.
Yeah, it was a good sort of 3/4 full, I'd say, the cinema. Were
you able to miss the 3D this time?
Yes, yeah. I didn't watch it in 3D, so that's good. But yeah, I don't know how much it cost. Oh, it cost 135 million. And so far, it's made 264. So it's doing all right. It's it's wiped its face in terms of marketing and stuff, hasn't it?
Has it opened in China yet?
I don't know.
Does it open in China? Old Marvel films?
Well, it almost made its budget back in the first weekend, just in the US and Canada. So it made 106 million in the opening weekend in US and Canada alone.
It's gonna be fine, but it is now like the joint worst rated film on Rotten Tomato of a Marvel film.
Really?
It's down there with Eternals. Now I think I enjoyed Eternals more than this.
I think I enjoyed Eternals more than this too, but it's not as bad as Age of Ultron. It's not as bad as Love and Thunder. I
don't think it's as bad as Dark World either.
No, you're probably right.
But I wouldn't put it anywhere near the top. I wouldn't even put it anywhere in the middle.
No, I mean,
I would put it lower to bottom.
Well, I think for me, it's fine. That's the thing, and maybe that's worse than being bad or good. A Marvel movie to be fine is I don't know. I think maybe that's a seal of a kiss of death for it, isn't it? Really,
I think so. And this is the start of a new phase, Rich. This is phase 5 now. This is officially we're going into big storylines here, and it just didn't kick it off with any kind of ambition.
No,
really, or stakes.
Well, I mean,
it's all about stakes for me.
Ambition visually, but not story wise.
Well, they didn't land with the the visually, did they?
It doesn't mean it didn't have ambition though. You can have ambition and not achieve. I think it had ambition visually. I don't think it had the storyline to back it up. I mean, again, I can't really. It was really quite muddled in a lot of places. Like I really didn't understand what was going on, or what people were trying to achieve for a big chunk of it, or what the whole point of most of it was.
Do you know what Quantumania means yet?
No, not a clue.
It's got the words Ant-Man in it.
Yeah. I think that's just marketing, basically.
Oh, bless them. Yeah, I can't get over. I mean, the cast is very good. Corey Stroll came back as Yellow Jacket, and he turns out to be MODOK, whatever you.
I think we should talk about Jonathan Majors because I think he's very good.
Yeah, but the problems I have with Kang, I probably have the same with Jonathan Majors. That he's very good at quietly being bad. If that makes he never. Yeah. Well, he does raise his voice a few times, but it's more scary when he's like whispering, kind of like "I'm gonna fucking kill you" kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not an out and out kind of
showman until he gets really angry at the end and things start coming out of his hand and
and then that almost makes him less scary.
Yeah, and it felt very Star Warsy at some point.
It did, didn't it? I was thinking that too. It did feel very Star Warsy. This
big army, and he's like the Emperor kind of thing.
Yeah, it did feel a bit like that.
So Kang's landed in the quantum realm at some point. Yeah. Janet helped set up, was going to nearly help him release until she saw that he's a bad man.
Yeah, not sure how that happened either, but
she must be very strong.
Well, no, she touched something on his ship, and it showed her. Like there was some sort of psychic connection with the ship or something. I don't know. It was fucking bollocks.
So from there, Kang somehow made an army.
I don't know how anyone does anything in this thing. Like, what do they eat and drink?
The glue, goo and little squiddy things. And what did you think of Bill Murray's cameo?
I thought it was pretty pointless, personally, but
we have to go and see this thing. He will find out something for us. No, he's just going to backstab you in the back. And that's it.
Yeah, he's just the Lando.
We're already finding Kang's bad from the other people.
Yeah,
that Scott and Cassie have wandered into.
Yeah,
mate. I think it's time to score it.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't done much positive stuff about it. We did try and start off positive.
Yeah. So, unequal sequel. I mean,
I don't think it's Ant-Man and Wasp is better for me.
I think you're right. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is better.
At least Ant-Man and Wasp, I can say, is fun.
Yeah, true.
And who's not in this? Michael Pena as Louise.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense he's not in it, I suppose, because
he could have been at the beginning, Rich.
He could have been at the beginning. Yeah, true. Probably unequal, not quite as good as Ant-Man and Wasp, but in terms of scoring out of 7, again, I don't think it's bad. I think it's good. I just think it's meh. So what? 3 out of 7, I guess. Not enough to be average. Just a little bit below the middle. But I think that's the problem. Is it's kind of boring and kind of dull and kind of like, so what? I could sleep through the middle of this movie and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. You like the bit then when they enter the quantum realm's pretty cool and that bit, and then the end at least is quite actiony and fun. You got Giant Man kicking things and this big smashy and there's the whole Rebel Alliance business. But that middle bit when I can't even remember what really happens, you just keep hearing about Kang and Janet. I was like, they had a lovely relationship at one point, but they didn't.
Just Kang and Janet just sounds like Sarah and Duck. Like a kids TV show on CBeebies.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's just have the middle and the end. I can't remember what I gave for Love and Thunder, and I remember being a lot more positive about that in the review than I was when I rewatched it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to come in hot or cold again on this and then be like, watch it a few months down the line and be like, you know what, I was wrong. This is okay.
Yeah.
So, because I want to say 2, but I think I gave Thor: Love and Thunder a 3, so I'm gonna stick around that area.
Thor: Love and Thunder, in retrospect, doesn't deserve more than like a 1.5. Like, it doesn't really.
That's a 2-star out of 7 movie, I think.
I think this is a 3 for me. I'm happy.
I think Thor: Love and
3.
Thunder's got more wrong with it than Ant-Man.
Yes.
Ant-Man, I can't see past the CGI.
The thing with Ant-Man is it's fine. It's becoming my catchphrase, I think.
With Marvel films,
yeah.
I'm starting to join you because I've always been more positive about Marvel films, especially recently. And you're like, I think I'm marveled out.
Yeah.
Rich, I think I'm marveled out.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
They keep announcing things, and I just keep going, ugh.
Yeah.
Okay. But then Kevin Feige said the other day they're gonna not drop as much soon.
Okay.
So they're going to slow down productivity, and hopefully that helps with the CGI problems because the base is too far. It's too far and wide their net at the moment. They've got too many projects and not enough people working on. And this is no dig to the CGI people that are working on these films, by the way.
No.
It's nothing against you. It's the deadlines that they've been putting under and people just ticking things off willy-nilly going, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Agreed.
Whatever, this is going to make money, isn't it? People are just going to watch this because it's a Marvel film. And at the end of the day, that's not right. You should be proud of things you're putting out. And if they can look back on this and say that it is, then they're wrong.
I think I care less about the visuals than I do about the story. I want a good story.
I just want to know what the Quantum Realm is. I want someone to sit me down. I want Luis, sit me down at the beginning of this film and just give one of his explanations what the Quantum Realm is.
That would be nice, right?
Because I've still been wondering that since Endgame. I'm like, in Endgame, I'm going with it because, it's Endgame and it's a brilliant film. And somehow there's time travel in there as well. Let's not even get started how that even works in this thing.
We need a layman's terms. What is the Quantum Realm?
Please.
Yeah.
And will we see it again now?
Probably.
Is that it now?
I don't know.
Why? Because he's dead in that. There's no point to go back down there through it.
There'll be a need to get all those like characters out of the Quantum Realm to fight Kang or something in the future. I don't know. I'm just guessing. They've got
If they turn up another film, I'll do this.
They've got a lot of stuff drawn now. They're going to want to use it. Right?
I suppose so. So what did you give it? Sorry. So it's Unequal.
It's Unequal and 3 out of 7.
Unequal and it's 3 stars, guys. Would you? I would say wait until Disney Plus.
Yeah. Don't.
If you haven't seen this and you've just listened to us ruin it, I don't think there's any need to go into the cinema.
No. To be honest, I wouldn't have gone and watched it if it wasn't for this podcast.
Wow, because Rich he's a Marvel fan. Like, you like the comic books and shit.
I like the comics. I'm not enjoying the movies at the moment. That's the thing.
I thought this was going to be the one. Ant-Man is such a safe bet normally.
Ant-Man's a very different bet. That's the thing. That's what.
But this is that's what I'm saying. Should be one you sit there and enjoy at least.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Well, I don't know what's next. Honestly, normally I'm like, I can't wait to see what's next.
Do you know what's next? What's next is season 5 of our interview episodes.
Oh,
that's what's next.
See us out, Rich. Yeah.
Season 5's coming soon, folks.
It is.
We've got guests lined up to record with. We're going to start recording them very soon, and we're all excited and stuff. So to get you ready for season 5, why don't you go way back into time, back into the Unequal sequel Quantum Realm, and dig out episode 1 of our interview episodes, and then listen to all the others. And while you're there, hit the little subscribe button, hit the tick or the heart or the like or whatever it is to give us a nice rating. Tap us out a review if you fancy.
Love a review.
Oh, love a review. Yeah, and then that will help other people find the podcast. And if you really, really love us, get yourself over to Another Slice, anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, where you can join our subscription service. It's only $2.99 a month, and there's also some free content on there to give you a little sampler, a little taster. You'll get things like Box Set Mentality, which is our new a new thing, discovering box sets. You'll get our Disenfranchised, which is a new thing, looking at movies that should have had franchises but don't. You'll get extra bonus content for all of our interview episodes. You'll get trailer breakdowns and other movie reviews. There's so much stuff on there. Go and have a look, and we're dropping new content all the time.
Yeah.
We're giving you a lot for your buck, a lot of bang for your buck. But we understand times are tough, and so not everyone can afford to get involved in that. So if you want to help support us, but you don't have the cash to splash, then just tell your friends. Just spread the word about the podcast and do some experiential virtual marketing, in-person marketing for us, and tell your mates to come and listen. We'd love that. You can find us on social media. We're on Twitter until it evidently explodes, at Unequal Sequel, and we're also on Instagram at Unequal Sequel. Or you can send us a good old-fashioned email, unequalsequel@hotmail.com. Let us know what you thought of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Maybe you loved it. You think we're wrong. Maybe you hated it. Let us know.
Please.
All the comments we will read out in our end of month roundup.
And it's going to be a long month. It's like a 5-weeker.
Yeah, it's a 5-week month, so it's a big roundup.
It's a big roundup. Yes, another slice. Go check it out. Box set mentality. We are on Beneath the Planet of the Apes, which is an absolute ride of a film if no one's seen it. Disenfranchised, the film that the random picker picked was Speed Racer. One of us is more excited about that than the other one.
I don't hate it.
And we'll have some other, it's probably something else once it comes up, a trailer or something will come up. So go check that out. I've got nothing else to say apart from thank you for listening. Rich, you got anything else to say?
Nope. All good.
It is I'll see you later from me, and bye-bye from him.
Bye!
Check us out next week, which is the sequel to this week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Very nicely done.
Do you like how I changed it slightly each
I
week?
do.
I always end up with a sequel to this one, but that was a bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I never asked the question quickly. Is there going to be an Ant-Man 4, yes or no?
No.